Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bark Knight Podcast. This is your host, Patrick.
And I'm Dan.
So this week, once again, we are doing one of our top favorite movie lists. So this time we're doing our top favorite movies from 2003, or 2013.
13. Yeah, we've done 93, we've done 03, so 13 was the next logical step.
It was the next logical step. It was either that or 1983, and I did look at 1983, and a whole lot of movies I ain't heard of. I was like, well, maybe that'll be a top 5 list. But yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, it was a really interesting year. So we went into this without really doing much of a deep dive on what movies were in this year. Like, I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, a bunch of movies I like. Yeah, let's go for it. Because Dan suggested it, so I was like, yeah, that looks. I got some movies I can talk about here. So we did that. But it's an interesting year because there aren't any movies that like you're like, oh, that's number one. It's going to be very much a it's going to be curated to your taste and my taste. You know, our lists will be. So that's what I think is going to be interesting about it.
Right, I completely agree with you. I looked at, we had this Google sheet that has, like, all the movies that we both put on there. And I'm just looking through them, like, there's so many good movies here, but is there anything that's just, like, notch above, you know? Like how, like, we did 93, and clearly Jurassic Park and Tombstone. Those were, like, two of my favorite movies of all time. I'm like, well, those two are number 1 and 2, and I had to figure out the rest of the list. This list, it was legit, like, going through and trying to be like, is that number 1? Is that not number 1? Is that 5? Like, it was a bit more of a, what's the word here? Moving pieces to this year.
Yeah, so I'm really curious as to what you're going to come up with for this. I completely forgot about that Google sheet, and I just looked at it, and the top thing on it, I was just like, damn, I really like that movie. I didn't even think about that one. And I had put an asterisk next to it for you, with like the note of like, you should check this out if you hadn't seen it.
You should check this out.
So yeah, let's jump into it.
Let's get into it.
Dan, in an effort to match my overzealousness, prepared 15 this time, because usually I will throw in an extra top 11 through 15 before we get into that. So Dan did that, but I one-upped him this time by preparing a top 30. I'm not going to go through my top 30, but it does exist, and you can follow me on Letterboxd. I have the full top 30 there. It's at Bark Knight. So feel free to jump over there and take a look and see what my 16 through 30 is. But yeah, let's jump into our 15s here. Let's jump into this.
Okay. All right. So at number 15, I put Iron Man 3.
Okay.
And I put it there because I know it's kind of not the most well-liked Marvel movie, and definitely not the most well-liked Iron Man movie. Although I think it's kind of more accepted than Iron Man 2, I'd say. But I really think it's a very good movie, and I think it gets kind of lost in the shuffle of the MCU. People kind of don't talk about that one at all. You know, it's Iron Man dealing with his stress from the Avengers movie, and it's kind of a little bit, I don't want to say like slower, but it's got more like character parts to it, and it's just like I said, him dealing with that. And I wanted to put on the list. It's an enjoyable movie. I always have a good time when we watch it. My nephew really likes Iron Man, so it's on all the time when he's up here. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, that Iron Man 3 was my number 15.
There you go. Iron Man didn't make my top 15, but it is a solid movie. If you want to know where it is, it's somewhere between 16 and 30 for me.
Ooh.
So take
26.
a look there, everybody.
That's my guess.
And my number 15 is a movie called Locke. Have you seen it?
I have not seen Locke. That's Tom Hardy, though, right?
It is Tom Hardy. So it is 85 minutes. And
it's just him in the car, right?
85 minutes is Tom Hardy riding in a car as he makes various phone calls dealing with a certain very stressful situation in his life. And it made number 15 for me because it's extremely impressive how it keeps you engaged for those 85 minutes of just him sitting in a car talking on a phone over and over. It's like really like riveting stuff for what it is. And there aren't that many movies that are like that, you know, like kind of like the movie Phone Booth. except I mean that's got more action than this. This is literally just him talking on a phone, but you're watching like all these things that are happening in his life, and the story, it progresses and it's got twists and it's got turns and all those things, but it's 100% on his performance the whole time.
And he's a great actor, and it's a movie that I put in my initial list of movies to watch for this list. I just didn't get to that one, so I know of it. I want to watch it. I heard good things about it.
Highly recommend it.
All right, moving on to my number 14 then.
That's it.
All right, at 14 I have Man of Steel.
All right.
This was their attempt to do Superman for the modern era after the success of The Dark Knight and the Batman movies being a big thing at this point in time still. They made Superman kind of moody and not super in touch with the character, but it's still a good film. It's still a good time. I really like Henry Cavill's Superman. I don't think he got a fair shake at being Superman in the DC, whatever the hell they called it. And I still enjoy it.
Extended universe.
There we go. Whatever piece of crap that was.
The worst.
But yeah, like literally, it's one of my favorite movies from that whole hodgepodge of garbage they did. And yeah, I really like it. I'm a big Superman fan as it is, but yeah, I can see the flaws in it. It's not exactly what you want to see Superman be in a movie, but it's still a good time, and I will never say no to watching it.
There you go. That movie didn't make my list whatsoever.
No, not even top 30.
I forgot it was. No, I mean, I didn't like actively go out of my way to leave it off the list, but
it happens.
That was another one when I just looked back at that list. I was like, oh yeah, that did come out that year. So yeah, solid. It is solid, but it does have its flaws too. So my number 14 is Out of the Furnace. Have you seen that?
No. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, completely forgot about this movie. This is Please go ahead. Remind my brain.
Christian Bale,
right.
Zoe Saldana, Woody Harrelson, Sam Shepard, Willem Dafoe, Forrest Whitaker, Casey Affleck, Boyd Holbrook. Quality movie. It's like a crime thriller type thing. It's directed by Scott Cooper. Scott Cooper he's done a bunch of Christian Bale movies. He did Hostels. Did you see Hostels?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of their collaborations together, and yeah, I like Scott Cooper's stuff. I like pretty much everything he's done. He did Horns? No, not Horns. Antlers.
And these are both movies. What one of them was like Harry Potter guy. Oh my gosh, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
was
Horns is
one
Daniel
of them.
Radcliffe. That also came out this year. It's also in my 16 through 30. Yeah, Antlers he did with that's the one about the Wendigo.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that one?
I don't know that one.
You really don't know Antlers? Man, you should
check
out Antlers. It is also
really
a flawed movie, but it's about a Wendigo, and you don't have many of those.
I love it, and that's a fun little cryptid I like.
Carrie Russell is in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse Plemons is in it. I forgot he was.
Is
in
he?
It. Yeah, check that one out. I mean, a lot of people have like major issues with it. It is a flawed movie, but I actually really enjoy it. So
and that's all that matters in the long run.
That's all that matters. So yeah, Out of the Furnace. That's my number 14. It's a cool little crime thriller. It is told in a really interesting way, and it's really emotional, I think would be the thing. You connect with Christian Bale, the intertwining relationships between him and his brother and Forrest Whitaker, Zoe Saldana. It's really interesting the way their relationships kind of intertwine, and then you've got the crime aspect of it, where it's a little bit of a like revenge thriller type thing. So yeah, I really like that. I really like the way it's told, and yeah, that's that one for me.
That's a perfect example of this year of 2013, because I like that movie and I completely didn't even like think about it for the list. You said it and like a light bulb went off. I'm like, why didn't like I know I saw it on our Google sheet too. I'm like, Out of the Furnace, whatever.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason you said it, it popped back in my head. I'm like, I've seen that. I like that, but that happens. So we're on to 13 now. At number 13, I have We're the Millers. I almost said We're the Millers.
Nice.
We're the Millers is a comedy starring Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston. Is it like an all-time classic? No, but it's a good time to watch. It's a good comedy, and we need more comedy in the world, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's a fun time. If you don't like Jason Sudeikis, you're not gonna like it. It's pretty much just his whole shtick again. But yeah, it's a movie about them trying to act like a family and smuggle drugs across the U.S. Mexican border. And yeah, it's a good time. It's got a great cast, like I said, the two main stars, but it's got like eyebrows kids from the Guardians movies,
Will
and
Poulter.
thank you. And then like Emma Roberts, Nick Offerman shows up, Catherine Hahn's in there, Ed Helms. It's got a great cast, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, number 12 is We're the Millers.
Nice. Yeah, I would say that We Are the Millers is an all-time classic. I've seen that movie many, many times.
All right.
I'm with you. So my number 13 is The Purge. Did you watch The Purge?
I did, actually. It's part of my catch-up.
There you go. So I'm a big fan of this one. This kicked off what would become a massive franchise. And I like every movie in this franchise. I like some of them, like I have my favorites, certainly. But this one really kicked off the franchise. It's got Ethan Hawke in it. It's stylistically different than the others. It's more contained and claustrophobic than the other movies, but it's really good. I'm a big fan of this one. And it's got Lena Headey in it. So
always
it's
good.
got she's great always, and Ethan Hawke is always great. So yeah, this, I think it's a really unique idea told in a unique way. It combines elements of a lot of different horror movies, thrillers, those things. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. So yeah, number 13 for me.
Very nice. All right, number 12 for me is a movie that I wanted to watch again, and I feel like if I had watched it again, it might have been on my list. But again, life, comes at you fast. But I have Fruitvale Station from Ryan Coogler. Have you watched that one? Yeah. And
no, I haven't.
You watch it? Okay. Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Very surprising there, I know. And basically, they're trying to get back from a New Year's Eve party, I think it is, and cops get involved, and then things go real sideways real quick. And it's a very good movie. I haven't seen it in so long that I can't pull back more than just the basic gist of it. But yeah, I feel like I should have watched that. If I would have watched it, it might have popped into my top 10. But I needed to give it a shout out. So yeah, Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, I know what the movie is. I know it's on a lot of people's favorite movie list, and it is that first collaboration of Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. So it's got that aspect of it. It's Ryan Coogler's first, big movie, his first movie. He's done shorts and stuff before that. So yeah, it's an important movie, and the subject matter is important of it too. And it was one that I had hoped to watch for this, but I couldn't get around to it.
I think it's also not. I didn't think I saw it streaming anywhere either. When I was looking one night to try to find something to watch, I don't think it came up.
Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere when I looked, but yeah. My number 12 is Inside Llewyn Davis. Have you seen this one?
Mm-hmm. I have not seen that one. That's one I need to watch.
Yeah, so it is very good. It's Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, the Coen brothers. It has the music to it. It's a really interestingly styled story, much like a lot of their other ones. I'm a big fan of this one. I've only watched it once. I wanted to watch this one again to see if maybe I could move it further up my list, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and I wasn't going to buy it. I don't like it that much,
Yeah. It's a Coen Brothers movie, and I'm sure the dialogue's great. I'm sure it's a good time, but also, as you said, like, you'd have to buy it.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to do that. But it is a very good movie. It's really good storytelling out of them, and Oscar Isaac's brilliant in it, but yeah.
Right, this was his breakout performance, right?
I'm not sure.
No. It was an early performance, at least.
He was in Drive in a supporting role there. I'm not sure if this was before or after A Most Violent Year.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, you should check that one out. That one's pretty good.
Writing it down.
A Most Violent Year was 2014, so the year after this. So he had a really good couple of years here.
Yeah. To get yourself established as an actor, that's good to have two hits like that. All right, my friend. I don't think you're going to guess my number 11 because it kind of surprised me too. It's a movie. When I first saw it, I did not like it at all, and then over the years, I've kind of grown to grown to like it much more than I did initially. I still have big time problems with the ending of it, and that is the Wolverine.
Ah, okay.
And for those of you who don't know, the Wolverine was the second attempt at a live action Wolverine solo movie after the X-Men Origins debacle happened. And this was him, and they were exploring the part of Wolverine where he goes to Japan and kind of becomes like a wandering samurai. And it's good. Like it's Hugh Jackman playing the character. He can play in his sleep now, and
Yep.
it's an entertaining action movie. I have a real why I didn't get in the top 10 because I have, as I said, gone back to it a bunch of times, and it's gotten better and better in my esteem. But I still severely dislike the villain in it, especially
You
like
talking
the
about
ending.
Silver Samurai?
Yeah, Silver Samurai is a
Silver
mech suit.
Samurai sucks in it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he
so bad.
absolutely sucks.
Yeah, it ruins the whole movie. He's not the character. He's just a mech suit, and yeah, I hate that. So for the longest time, I hated that so much. I hated the movie. But I've watched it a few times, re-showing Holly all the MCU and stuff, and the Marvel movies. I'm sorry, the X-Men movies. I mean to say, and it is good. Like it is a good movie, but yeah, he's bad. It's badly
They
done.
fumbled the third act.
Yeah,
Classic Marvel thing to do.
classic, especially Fox Marvel.
Well, and the crazy thing is, James Mangold directed this too.
Mm-hmm.
Same director as many masterpieces, right? Same
Including
director as
Logan.
Logan.
Yep.
So, I will say it's in my bottom 15, we'll call it. My 16 through 30. So it's number 19, so it's high up there too. It's not too far behind here.
No.
But like Hiroyuki Sanada's in it. What a wonderful Silver Samurai he would have been.
Yeah.
You guys dropped the ball. Like
they had a chance there, but yeah, they did fumble the third act, and it hurts the movie overall. But it's still a good time, and yeah, I say if you have any interest in it or if you missed it, give it a watch.
Yeah, it's still a good time. You're right. Okay, my number 11, right, is Side Effects. Have you seen this?
Give me a synopsis.
A woman turns to prescription medication as a way of handling her anxiety concerning her husband's upcoming release from prison. Starring Rooney Mara, Jude Law, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, wow.
She dips beneath lasers.
She does. With her butt.
Channing Tatum, and directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Really? I know he directed that. No, I don't know that movie.
It is very good, and I am surprised at how much I like it every time I watch it. And I watched it a couple weeks ago in preparation for this, and I was like, hey, guess what? I still really like this movie. You should check it out. It was almost in my top 10. It shimmied around like the top 9 to 13, 14 area. It bounced around there a lot over the last few days here.
My number 8 did that same thing. Like the first few times I did the list, 8 went all over the place. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But
My top 5 never changed the entire time I did this. But like
Mine
everything did. After that was like, woo.
What was it like? Yes, thank you. All right, so that's through the first 5, the kind of honorable mentions. Now we get into the top 10. These are the big ones. The top 10. Coming in at number 10, I'm not going to do that voice the whole time. Coming in at number 10 is a movie that I equate about the same level as I did Schindler's List. Whereas when we did the 1993 list, I put Schindler's List like really high up on it, and then I kind of felt bad afterwards. We really like movies that we can watch a lot, right? That's kind of the whole thing.
Guess what this is?
I think you're gonna get it, but yes, go ahead.
The Schindler's List of the list. That's what you're saying. It's the Schindler's List of
the Schindler's List of this year. Yeah.
Oh, is it Captain Phillips?
No.
Is it Blue?
It is. Nope. It is 12 Years a Slave.
Well, I should have known that.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get it. So yeah, 12 Years a Slave. This was the Best Picture movie. That was a terrible way to say that. Best Picture winner from this year. It's got an 8.1 on IMDb, 96 on Metacritic, and 95 from critics and a 90 from fans on Rotten Tomatoes. Steve McQueen's the director. Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think I got that right. He stars in it. He's great in it. Got an Oscar nomination for it. Lupita Nyong'o won Best Supporting Actress Oscar for this role. it's a great cast. It's definitely worth a watch, but it is not a fun watch.
That's what I hear.
That's why I put it down at 10. It's just because, like, yeah, I respect it, but I don't want to watch it that much. And I know that sounds stupid, but you need to watch it. If you're a film fan, you need to watch it. It's filmed so well. The cast, I just give you like the two big actors, but it's got an insane cast: Michael Fassbender, Benedict Cumberbatch, Brad Pitt. Like, it's Paul Giamatti, I think's in there. It's good. It's really good, but it's just not an easy watch. So that's my number 10, 12 Years a Slave.
I've never seen 12 Years a Slave.
Everything I said, dude. It's worth your time. You should watch it once, but it is not enjoyable. I shouldn't say it's not enjoyable, but it'll stick with you.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And just most of the time, I'm not in any rush to see like excessive trauma.
Right.
You know,
it gets to be. It's a lot.
Yeah, the white guilt will get you. You know.
It will. Yes.
So
thanks,
I
ancestors.
will watch it eventually, but yeah, I've been in no rush to see that one either.
Right, and that's fair.
Okay, so my number 10 is, let me see if you can guess this. It's a horror movie. It will sneak up on you and completely disturb you. It will make you uncomfortable almost the entire way through it.
I'm leaning towards Oculus.
No.
Darn.
It is somewhat seductive, but in a twisted way.
Hellraiser's not 2013. I got nothing but go ahead.
And it's got my final clue for you. It's got Scarlett Johansson in it.
Oh, Under the Skin.
Under the Skin.
Darn it. I should have got that.
Yeah,
earlier.
So Under the Skin, I think, is... So, just to your point, it is a movie that you probably don't feel like watching too many times, but it makes you so uncomfortable the entire way through it that it's like, it's captivating while like it does make your skin crawl, so to speak, you know? And it's really impressive that they're able to accomplish all these feelings in you in such a way, you know, like it is, there's no movies out there like it, you know? The experience of watching this movie is like, it'll make you feel like almost no other movie has made you feel.
You're 100% right. It is exactly that. Scarlett Johansson is in it. She's the lead character, and she's fantastic. And yeah, it is a very good movie.
Yeah, so anybody that hasn't seen this, I highly recommend it. If you're into horror movies that make you like really uncomfortable. But it is, so the tagline for it is, "Come to me."
Mm-hmm.
And it is, a seductive stranger prowls the streets of Glasgow in search of prey. Unsuspecting men who fall under her spell.
So it's kind of like Species, but not really.
Certainly the movie.
a little bit like Species. A little bit like Species.
Kind of like Species, except that's more of like action sci-fi horror,
like
where this
more
is
bombastic,
like straight horror.
Yeah,
but like similar premise. Yeah.
All right, that's a good movie. I didn't make my list, but I do like it quite a bit. For me, at number 9, let's give you a couple clues. This is a third entry into a trilogy I really like. And the trilogy is not really tied together at all, except for they were made by the same director, same cast. It's called the Cornetto Trilogy.
Oh, yeah. The World's End.
The World's End, yep. Number 9, we got The World's End.
You had.
As I said.
I was like, I have no idea what that would
be. Then the Cornetto thing got you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the Cornetto Trilogy is a trilogy of movies done by Edgar Wright with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg as the main characters. It started off with Shaun of the Dead, continued with Hot Fuzz, 2 of my all-time favorite movies. And then this one was the capping trilogy, the trilogy capper, I mean to say. And it's not quite those levels. Like, it's just a bit below those other 2 movies, but it's still a really good time. It's got an 89% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, 72 from fans, 6.9 on IMDb, and 81 on Metacritic, which I thought, like, wow, that surprised me. Yeah, basically, this movie deals with basically just like some people like don't grow up, kind of, and like it just kind of it kind of shows the stress that like that can put on someone's life when they kind of just are left to their own devices and don't move past them, you know. And it didn't, like, midway through it switches to a whole sci-fi kind of horror movie, which is great. But yeah, it's a great movie, and I do like it quite a bit. It is just a bit below those other two in the trilogy, but it's got to be on my list. So yeah, number 9 is The World's End.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. That's in my 16 through 30. All right, I'm going to give you the tagline for this and see if you can guess my number 9. To fight monsters, we created monsters.
That is Pacific Rim.
That is Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro. Using massive piloted robots to combat the alien threat, Earth's survivors take the fight to the invading alien force lurking in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, so we got Charlie Hunnam, Idris Elba. I don't remember any character's name in this movie, but I remember Idris Elba's. Stacker Pentecost.
That's a name.
Like it, yeah, like somebody was like, let's just make him just give him the most badass name we possibly can.
And we're giving him the most badass line of the whole movie.
Which line is that?
We are canceling the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, we're canceling the apocalypse.
Yeah, that gets me hyped every time I see it.
Yeah, quality movie. I surprisingly, I liked it the first time I saw it, but I didn't love it, and I couldn't quite place why, and I still don't know why. Because every time I've rewatched it, I've liked it more. You know?
Yeah. I swear to God, well, I'll get to it later. But I'm with you.
Charlie Day and Ron Perlman, their interactions with each other are absolutely brilliant. And I mean, this is like peak Charlie Day right here too. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big fan of this one, and I wanted to rewatch it for this, and I could not find it anywhere, and I still didn't feel like buying it either. I should buy that. It seems like one I should own. I bet it looks beautiful on 4K, but I don't have time for all that. So
yeah, I actually we have that Voodoo / Fandango thing for like years. My family's just been putting movies on it, and like I'll go to people's houses and like just kind of like raid their DVD cases for like the little slips that let you have the code so you can have them too. So I got that from Trav, so I have that digitally, so I was able to watch it for this. So womp womp.
Yeah.
But yeah. You might be hearing about that one in just a little bit, but not yet.
That's what I like to hear.
But not yet. At number 8, I have a movie directed by Ron Howard about Formula One racing.
Rush.
Called Rush. Yep, exactly. And this is a movie that you were talking about how sometimes you need to watch a movie a couple times to really like click on it. The first time I tried to watch this movie, I made about 20-30 minutes in and just kind of, sometimes a movie loses your interest and it's still on, but you're not paying attention to it. Yeah. And so the first time I watched it, I didn't give it a fair shake. I don't know what happened, but I remember thinking like, whatever. And then like 2 or 3 years after it came out, I heard people talking about it, like how good it is. I like racing movies. I don't like racing, the sport to watch. I find it boring. But racing movies are good, like in general. I think they've been very solid in that aspect of it. So I gave it a second watch, and at second watch I was like, holy crap, that movie's fantastic. I don't know why it didn't hook me the first time. Especially the second half where it focuses more on Daniel Barrow's character.
Yeah.
Icky Landa. And like when it starts focusing on him more, the movie really picks up steam and finds its footing, and it's really good from that point. So yeah, number 8, Rush.
So this one bounced all around my list. I might have only seen it once. I might have seen it twice, but I haven't seen it more than that. And I really wanted to rewatch this one, and I settled for just listening to the soundtrack. It has an awesome soundtrack by Hans Zimmer in it.
It really does.
And I did look up the YouTube video of like the ending scene, and just to kind of refresh me on that, because I remember the ending just being really like poignant and really unique in the way of how they presented everything. And it's a true story. And
it is.
The way they nailed that type of ending, like it's really good. And this is one that if I had been able to find it, I really feel like it would have at least made it. It was in the top 15, but it bounced up it ended up at 17. I'll just say it. But yeah, I agree. It's a really good movie. and I
Right.
would like to watch them again.
Right, and as you said, the bouncing around thing I was mentioned earlier, that bounced around a lot for me too. It was all over the list. It's like it was hard to place, but yeah, great time, uh, great cinematic time, as I meant to say, and yeah, the ending's great. There's a funny story actually that I read recently about how the Nicky Landa, the actual real life driver, said that he loved how Daniel Burl pulled him off and thought he did a great job. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize. I can't say
Daniel
it for some
Bruhl.
reason. Burl. Okay. Saying it wrong. Doesn't matter. So he just said he said he watched the movie. He's like, oh, holy shit, that's me. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like that's what you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 8.
There you go. My number 8 is Captain Phillips.
There it is.
I am the captain now. Have you seen this? Really?
I know. It's one that was on that short list of things to watch for this, and I didn't get to it.
You're a madman. You got to see
I
this
know.
one. This is an all-time classic. So Sarah's actually a big fan of this movie too, and she was the one that convinced me to watch it with her one night. And it's directed by Paul Greengrass. He did the Bourne movies. He did Green Zone. He did a bunch of other movies. But he's a really good director. And this is a little different than his usual movie. It's a true story. It's Tom Hanks. Everybody's seen the trailers for this and the whole "I am the captain now" thing. But it's really, really interesting the way it's done. And I'm not going to give away the ending for it, but there's a certain scene with Tom Hanks towards the ending that the way he acted out this scene made me cry like immediately. It was that powerful of a performance. And it is, I think, that scene alone that put it here for me. It is a very good movie otherwise. It progresses in ways you don't foresee happening, and there's a lot of surprises in it, and it really walks you through the entire process of all the decisions that were made that led to the pirates taking the ship, where everything goes from there, and it involves you in a lot of those decisions to see how everything unfolds. So it unfolds in a really, it's really like interesting to watch, I guess. I'm a big fan of it. I just watched it a few months ago, and yeah, it's a good one. I definitely think you should watch this one, Dan. It's one of
You know what's
Tom
really weird?
Hanks' best performances.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just gonna say, you know what's weird is that recently I saw a list of like the best Tom Hanks performances, and they pointed out this movie, and I'm pretty sure they showed the scene that you're referencing here, and it is really good. Like, and he's so good at it, and you feel for him, and like even with no context, I'm like, oh wow, that's really good. So I completely believe that is the whole movie's that good, or at least that's the capper on a really good movie. I
Yeah,
should say.
it
All right.
is really interesting the way they lead to that scene. Everything that leads to it. It's powerful.
Very good. All right. Moving on to my number 7. I have a movie directed by Fede Alvarez, starring Jane Levy. It is a remake of a cult classic, and they decided to go much more into the horror of it, and that is Evil Dead.
Directed by Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap, yes, exactly. Yeah, so this movie, when it came out, I had always been a fan of the original Evil Dead movies, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. We talked about them way back when we were first doing this stuff. And like this movie is in the same spirit, but much more visceral, much more of an attack you kind of movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like it's like they take the camp out of the movie almost completely, and it's just straight horror, and it's so good. And like yeah, I was making my list, and I'm like, I gotta put that on there, and I found 7 was a good place for it. So yeah, number 7 is the Evil Dead. I don't want to even say remake because it's like a re-envisioning. It's, well, I guess remake's the only way to really put it. But yeah. So yeah, Evil Dead remake. Jane Levy's great in it. Fede Alvarez has gone on to do just so much stuff since then. This was like a year for like the young directors really kind of finding their footing. I found like a lot of directors we really like now. You know, Denis Villeneuve, James Wan, Fede Alvarez, just, you know, Ryan Coogler, all out there doing stuff.
Yeah. What was really impressive about Evil Dead 2 is that
as
it
well.
had such a high bar.
It did.
You know, the Evil Dead movie from when I don't know when's the original from.
I want to say 82, but I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Late 80s or late 70s, early 80s, somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in that region. I was thinking 82 as well, but I kind of feel like that's not right, but that's the one that stood out to me. But anyways, it is an all-time classic. You're remaking a movie that is seen by many people as like the holy grail of horror movies,
Beloved.
you know? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beloved. It's almost like remaking The Thing. And so it had such a high bar to hit,
Eight-
and
81.
the only man, yeah, we were really close. So the only way to do that is to make it your own, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what he did. He built a whole new style for it that they are still making now. You know, we had Evil Dead Rise. It stuck 100%
Mm-hmm.
to the style that Fede Alvarez established in the 2013 version. And the
Completely right.
upcoming Evil Dead Burn,
Mm-hmm.
guarantee it sticks to that as well. You know, so how do you take a franchise like that that's so beloved and remake it and do so well that you create an entirely new style for that franchise that is what it's known for now? It's really
Right.
impressive, and yeah,
It is. You put it so well. That's exactly what I wanted to get out, but you said it beautifully, if I might say so.
oh, thank you, I appreciate it. So yeah, my number 7 is We Are the Millers.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this movie. I've watched this more than most of the movies on this list. It has a ton of one-liners. I am a big Jason Sudeikis fan. I like his show there, Ted Lasso.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of that. I still laugh to myself sometimes when I think about how Adam and Clara tried to watch
They started
that
season
show,
4
and
or
they were
something.
like, yeah, they're like, it just nothing makes sense, and then they realized that they accidentally started with season 3.
Classic.
And like that's so funny too, because I did that one other time when Amazon Prime suggested the 3rd season to me for some reason. And anyways, We Are the Millers it's very funny. It's one of the last, like, you know, like you said, we don't get enough comedies anymore.
We don't. We need more.
Most of them are either comedy TV series, which I'm completely fine with. You know, I love Shrinking. Schitt's Creek is great. Ted Lasso's great. You know, so there's a lot of that going on, but there's not many comedy movies anymore. And I think that's because, you know, I'm not to blame it on Marvel, but I think they took that over. I think they took that part of the market and pushed everybody else out of the comedy era, and they're like, hey, this is going to be what we're known for. We're going to build these movies that are both action and comedy, and they'll corner both of those markets. But this it's great, so I highly recommend it for anybody that hasn't seen it. But it's very memorable, and I've watched it many times. No regrets.
Yeah, it's very good. So we move on to my number 6, and my number 6 is another crossover. I did say it was going to be talked about very soon. My number 6 is Pacific Rim.
Oh,
And
there it is.
just like you said, it was such like it's the most man idea for a movie ever. Like apocalypse happened. There's giant monsters. What do? Let's make giant robots and punch them in the face.
Yep.
That's just fun. We're gonna have a good time with it. And yeah, as you said, I won't linger on it too long because you've hit all the big parts on it. The cast is great. The special effects look great. The action pieces move at a good pace, and it's just a lot of fun. The sequel, not a huge fan of, but this one was deserving of its number 6 spot on my list. So yeah, number 6 is Pacific Rim.
I've never seen the sequel.
It's bad. It's forgettable. How about that? That's the worst part. Is like a sequel to that movie should not be forgettable, and it's totally forgettable.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. My number 6 is a movie that I really struggled with where I was going to put this one. I put it here.
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
I'm gonna guess Her. Damn.
I've never seen her, so that's not on my list.
It bounced
That's
off my
number
list.
one.
No, it was on my list at one point, and then it kind of bounced around and bounced off eventually.
So, all right, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a movie that I project to be very high on your list. It may even be your number one.
Okay.
Because I know that you're a big fan of this director.
Wolf of Wall Street?
It's got Chris Evans in it.
Oh my gosh, Snowpiercer.
I am a big fan.
I am a big fan of that, yes.
Yeah, so Snowpiercer. It's a really good movie. And it would be higher on my list if not for the fact that I love this top five I have. I think it's like the perfect top five for me. So that's why this got pushed out of it. But it's a really good movie. It's Bong Joon-ho, and he really has established a very unique world. And it's almost gross to watch at certain times. At certain points, you don't enjoy it whatsoever. Like when they're showing them grinding up all the cockroaches and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, like, it really, 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 it sells the idea of how they make this whole thing work, you know? And it's just really impressive. And not for nothing, ton of good performances. Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris, John Hurt, just all of them phenomenal. And the action's great too. I think this is the first Bong Joon-ho movie I actually saw. I think I saw this before The Host.
No, I definitely saw The Host first, but yeah, it's understandable.
I just kind of stumbled into this one too. And so yeah, Jamie Bell is in this too. He's really good in it. I feel like we don't see him in enough stuff anymore. During this era, you know, from like I don't know, 2007 to 2013, he was in a ton of stuff, and like now we just don't see him anymore. But yeah, he's really good too.
The Peter Jackson King Kong. He was in Fantastic. Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen him in much since then, or recently, I should say. He's probably on some TV show, but we just don't know.
He was in that one TV show, Turn, I think it was called.
Oh, the Revolutionary War one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I never saw that though.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, but I know of it somehow. Probably gets back when like AMC had like two shows. You're like, The Turn or Walking Dead.
Right. And now they have 5 shows, and all 5 are Walking Dead.
That's true. All right, number 5, I have a movie that spun off into a whole universe. Directed by James Wong, starring Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. We have The Conjuring. And The Conjuring is a movie about a family who's being haunted. So they go to Ed and Irene Warren, who are played by the two main actors, and they seek help because they're being menaced by what's the word here? Not malevolent spirit who's causing their family, causing their family doing like just absolutely terrorizing these people. And I remember watching this movie the first time at the drive-in, actually, here in town, and immediately went the next day and saw it in the movie theater because I wanted to see it, like, not like some movies aren't good in the drive-in. Yeah, some movies aren't good in the drive-in. This wasn't a good drive-in movie, but it interests me enough to watch it the next day at the movie theater. So I adore the first 2 Conjuring movies, the universe they made. Very hit and miss, but it's a landmark horror movie, I'd say, and it's one everyone should catch at some point. So number 5, The Conjuring.
Yeah, The Conjuring's very good. Yeah, I think the universe as a whole has been hit and miss. Most of the like sequels that are just in The Conjuring, like The Conjuring 2, The Conjuring 3, so on. Most of those are pretty good. But yeah, once you start getting
didn't love Conjuring 3.
None. And which one was The Conjuring 3? Is that The Devil Made Me Do It?
Yeah, I didn't love that one.
I think the problem is it's not that memorable. But every time I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is better than I remembered it being. But yeah, I would say when you're looking at these,
you get the Annabelle movies. Oh,
Annabelle movies. Yep.
Curse of La Llorona. Yeah.
Oh man, The Curse of La Llorona is absolute trash. That movie sucks. And
It
not
does.
only
It
that,
should be good. It should be good.
it should be. Not only that, but the guy that directed that is directing the final movie in the Conjuring universe, and I predict that that's going to be the worst of them all.
Worried about it.
In the way of just the Conjuring movies, I don't think it'll be as bad as La Llorona because he's gotten a little bit better since then. But yeah. Anyways, cool, good choice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, my number 5. That's what we're on, right? Number 5.
Yep. Number 5.
Evil Dead. Fede Alvarez.
Heck yeah.
Made my top 5.
Heck yeah.
I've watched this movie a whole bunch of times. I'm a huge fan of it. All those things that I said before.
Copy paste.
Yeah, copy paste. Put them right here. I don't have much to add because it really is. I mean, it's just a great horror movie. The end, when they're just raining blood down on the whole place, one of the coolest scenes out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still a big advocate for the fact that they should have Jane Levy's character in this meet up with some of the other characters from the franchise. I would love to see her character again.
I would be so happy if they did that.
Yeah.
But, great movie. Moving on to number 4. At number 4, we have The Wolf of Wall Street. Directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Jonah Hill. And this movie actually moved around my list a lot more than I expected it to as well. Like when I first watched it, I was like, that movie's great, I love it. And then like as you get older and kind of like see other things, you kind of like actually hear the story about what a piece of garbage this guy was, the movie he's based around. It hurts a little bit when you hear like how much of a piece of shit he was and like how he like ruined people's lives, and the movie kind of glorifies him. Yeah, it kind of glorifies him a little bit, and that bugs me. But it's a very entertaining movie. As I said, stellar cast. It's Scorsese, you know, he knows what he's doing, and a lot of F-bombs, and just it's a good time. Overall, very big fan of it. But yeah, I couldn't put it higher than 4 just because I think about the real life person.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this isn't in my top 4. It didn't make my list at all. And some people might be surprised to hear that. I'm a big fan of Martin Scorsese, and I've never said this on the podcast before, but I don't really like this movie.
That's fair.
And I think it's because it's just told so over the top, and I understand that's kind of the point, right? That's the only way you kind of tell this story is by making it super over the top. And that's why a lot of people love it. And I will say that I agree with everything you said. You know, it is a good movie. It has a great cast and direction and all those things, but I just don't really enjoy watching it very much. Much rather watch the other Martin Scorsese movies. So that's why it didn't make my top 4. But nothing against anybody that does like it. It just doesn't really do it for me, I guess. So I'm glad that it made your top 4. That I did think that's interesting that it bounced around yours a lot and your conflicted feelings on it. You know, I agree with all that, and maybe that swayed my opinion on it over time. But I kind of don't think I ever really liked it either. I always thought it was kind of overhyped, and I don't know.
You know what? The perfect microcosm for that movie is the very first scene there where DiCaprio comes out of the house with not a bottle of champagne, mimosa, and he drinks it and just throws it over the bush. You're like, well, no human being's ever going to do that, but that's
right.
That's how that movie goes from that point on. So, if you just got to be in for the ride at that point. But yeah, it's definitely not my favorite Scorsese, but yeah, I had it off the list. My favorite Scorsese? Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. Probably The Departed. I love that movie.
You know,
you don't like that one either?
No. I think The Departed might be my favorite too. And a lot of people really like. I see people online talk about how much they hate The Departed and how it's like so overrated. And I think a lot of people hold a grudge on that movie being the one that
it's
won
a remake
the Oscar for him after, like the Goodfellas and whatnot didn't. But honestly, man, I really think it is a masterpiece. I think it's a perfect movie.
I agree with you. And it's a remake of
anything I would ever improve with it.
Yeah, it's a remake of an Asian movie, which some people don't like. Yeah, I think it's great. I love Gangs of New York. I'm a big fan of Hugo, which is a movie that came out that he did that no one really cared about, but I like that one.
I've never seen Hugo.
You should watch Hugo. Hugo's good.
I think
But
Goodfellas
yeah,
would be my number 2.
yeah, Goodfellas is definitely up there.
I think Shutter Island might be my number 3. Shutter
Shutter Island's
Island,
very good.
I'm a massive fan of Shutter Island. I think it's told in such a unique way, and it gets better every time you see it, and you notice all these details. And it's a really beautiful film too.
This could be a list at some point.
It
Scorsese
could be,
movies.
yeah.
Write that
Maybe
one down.
we should at some point. At some point,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to actually watch Killers of the Flower Moon. I have still not carved out the 8 hours or whatever that it takes to watch that.
That's why I haven't seen it either. That and Oppenheimer. I know. Those movies are just so long. You're just like, I don't want to spend an entire day watching one movie.
Yeah, right. I will tell you, Oppenheimer is really good. I have it on.
I know.
I have the Blu-ray of it. It's very good. But I just get after The Irishman, I carved out the half a day or whatever that it took to watch that, and it is good. It is, but it doesn't justify the longevity of it. It does not. He could have made that tighter. And I just get the vibe with this that he probably could have too. And there's going to be scenes where you're like just sitting there and like watching somebody knit in a chair in the 1930s or whatever, you know?
Yeah. And then like
15 minutes of somebody like digging a hole or something, you know? Like, all right,
20 minutes later, you see them put that thing she knitted into their pocket. You're like, oh, that's the tying point. I see.
Yeah, right. Come on, man. Edit your movies. Or make a show.
Yeah.
You're allowed to make TV
You're allowed
shows.
to do shows. Right? Like Scorsese making a show would be great. I bet you it would be like 27 episodes, 6 hours apiece.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. I've probably just like irreparably damaged my credibility for talking poorly about The Wolf of Wall Street and Martin Scorsese.
It went off my list. Like I told you, it went off my list briefly, and then it came back on.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I'm similar boat. 4. You're on 4.
All right, my number 4 is from Denis Villeneuve, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, and it is a movie called Enemy. So they collabed on 2 movies this year, and I'm a huge fan of this one. This is actually, I feel like, A, underrated, and B, underseen. It's really snuck under the radar this year. It's told in a manner of you have to piece some things together while you're watching it and after you've watched it. Have you seen this, Dan? Did you like it?
I liked it. It didn't make my list. I did briefly think about rewatching it just to see if maybe it would pop up higher in my estimation, but I didn't watch it. I have seen it. I did like it. Jake Gyllenhaal is of course great as always, but I don't hold it in quite a high regard as you do apparently.
It's one of those movies where I 100% would understand if somebody hates it. It's told in such a way that it could be unenjoyable for many people. But I like the way that it reminds me of almost like Mulholland Drive. The way you have to piece together what exactly is happening. The way it ends, and you're like, you have to piece together.
That's a good
what
comparison.
The movie was about. You're almost required to watch it again to be like, all right, wait a second, what did I miss? You know? And so I've watched it many times, and I watched like a 10-minute video of somebody basically doing a dissertation about the symbolism behind this movie and everything that's happening in it. And that really also helped me to sort of piece together some of the things I was missing in it. And I think it is just like an absolute work of art.
I respect that. I should watch that again. All right. Well, coming in at number 3 on my list. Top 3 is a sports movie, actually.
Oh.
And it is. It's just numbers, man. It's 42.
Oh, yeah. You know, I wanted to watch this. I've never seen this one.
Right, yeah. The late, great Chadwick Boseman stars in it. He plays Jackie Robinson. It's all about how Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball and what he had to endure to do it. It
Yeah.
has a really good supporting role played by Harrison Ford, who plays the Brooklyn Dodgers owner, Ranch Rickey. I thought Harrison Ford was fantastic in it. I honestly thought he was like Oscar worthy, but he didn't get a nomination for this. And as I said, Chadwick Boseman's the main actor, the star of the movie, and it just shows what he had to deal with, like in America at that point in time, especially with America's pastime, to just like what he had to deal with and like how he persevered through it, and like how like his what's the word here, his stoic nature helped him with it. And yeah, it's a very good movie. It's a very good sports movie. It's a must watch. I think it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite baseball movies. And yeah, number 42. Jesus, number three, number three is 42.
I should have made more of an effort, it sounds like, to watch that one for this, but it has moved up in my priority list because of your kind words about it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. My number 3 is American Hustle.
Okay,
Have you seen this one?
I have. And you want me to lose some internet cred? I didn't
no,
love
go
it.
ahead. That's okay.
I did not love it.
Why
I,
didn't you
I
love
thought it was. I don't know. Something about it. I thought it was well acted. I thought the story was a bit bland, and like the accents were a little bit over the top for me, a couple of them, and it just kind of lost me at a certain point. I don't dislike it, but I just don't rate it as high as it seems like a lot of people do.
Yeah. No, that's completely understandable. For me, I almost feel like it's one of those years where like maybe you just fall into one of those camps, right? You either fall into the Wolf is Wall Street camp or the American Hustle camp,
Oh, okay.
you know?
I'll give you that. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Good,
I think
good. Not idea. Good observation.
I think Christian Bale is, and I think that's a big part of this too. Is I'm a big Christian Bale fan. I think his performance in this is out of this world. I think the way the directing happens, like, so I had read that David O. Russell had kind of not. He didn't care about the script for it, and somebody had brought up I forget whether it was which of the three leads, because it's Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, and Jeremy Renner. One of them had brought up to him like, oh, well, if we say this in this scene, that might impact this part of the plot later in the movie. And the David O. Russell was like, I don't care. So like story wise, he was just like, we got to get from point A to point B, and I want you guys to improvise as much in between as we can, and was basically looking for the best performances out of everybody more than focusing on the story. And so that for me, knowing that's his intention with this, I'm focusing more on the performances. Now specifically, I think Jeremy Renner is great in it. I also think Amy Adams is absolutely fantastic, and I think Christian Bale is great. I think Bradley Cooper does overact at a few different scenes, and I think Jennifer Lawrence kind of falls into that here and there as well. But I do think she does put off a good performance. But Christian Bale and Amy Adams, I think they are the heart and soul of the movie, and I think they really nail it. And I could watch both of them do anything. I would love to see them collaborate on something else. I would love to see Amy Adams do more roles like this, because I really think this showcases her acting talents, and I would love to just see more of that out of her. I know we haven't seen, these big blockbuster movies with her in a few years here.
I mean, she did Night Bitch last year.
I know. I didn't watch that. I heard it.
I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's bad, yeah.
But I watched her in Arrival just a month ago, and man, did that make me bawl my damn eyes out. That movie, every time, I know exactly where it's going, and it's just complicated enough that I'm like I'm surprised every time we get there, But yeah, American Hustle, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, give them awards. Give them all the awards.
Give them all
I'm a big fan of that one. My number 3.
Very nice. Top 2, my friend.
Top 2.
We're here. We're here. And I know it's really high on the list to give a caveat. But I want to just explain why I like number 2 so much. I saw number 2 in IMAX, which is the only, well, not the only way, but if they ever re-release this movie, I would say you absolutely 100% need to go see it in IMAX. My number two movie is Gravity,
Okay.
starring Sandra Bullock, George Clooney. Basically, a two-person movie. They're astronauts. They're doing a spacewalk to repair a satellite, and then some space debris comes and wrecks their shit. And they're just trying to survive. And it's like it's a disaster movie in that effect, which I enjoy disaster movies. It's one of my favorite kind of subgenres. And it like in IMAX, it was so visually striking and just such an experience that I've never forgotten it. Like I left that theater going, my God, this is what they can do with movies, and it's always stuck with me. I will admit that watching it at home on my crappy TV like a DVD, not the same impact. But in the IMAX theater, seeing this thing, it was one of my favorite movie experiences I've ever had was watching this in IMAX. So it's still a good movie, but it does lose a bit on a smaller screen. But yeah, number two is Gravity.
Nice. I don't think I saw this in theaters, and so that's why it's in my 16 through 30.
Well,
It's
there
a
you
good
go.
movie, though.
Dude, I'm telling you, in IMAX, different ball game.
It seems like it'd be a good movie to see in IMAX, or even like one of those theaters where it's like fully around you, and you're just like, "Ugh." What's that place in Rochester? It's like the
Planetarium?
thing where you, yeah, the planetarium. Thank you. I
Yeah,
gave you like nothing to go off of.
I got there.
It's like, it's a
It's a thing.
thing.
You watch stuff there. But yeah, the IMAX I saw it in too was in Long Island because I was down visiting my sister, and like it was one of those ones where
Oh,
it was
they
everywhere.
had
It was
money.
They had money, yes. It was awesome. So
Okay, so my number two is The Conjuring.
there it is. Okay,
Some might say that this is extremely high for this movie, but
I don't.
they would be underestimating how much I love this movie. It's become a little bit of a comfort movie for me over time. It, I think, is one of my favorite horror movies. It has a high rewatchability for me. I've watched it many times. Like, I would venture to say I might have watched this movie, like, I don't know, 30, 40 times at this point. So it's a lot in 12 years. So, like, I watch it, like, at least once a year. You know, I think that it is the way James Wan tells the story in it, the style choices he uses. Like, yes, it has jump scares, but it's also got like a high creepiness factor. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are absolutely wonderful as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lily Taylor and Ron Livingston are great in it as well. And all the daughters, the whole family dynamic that they establish, everything with the history and the lore that they establish, it's all done fantastically. And I don't think James Wan knew that he was going to do all these spin-offs with this movie.
No, I don't think so.
That it was going to be this successful and it was going to lead to so many things, but they really do a great job of establishing the world in this. But I do think that it's the first, and I do think it's the best of all the Conjuring movies. It's my favorite. And I remember once I was trying to think to myself, like, if you were stuck on a desert island, what are the movies you would take with you? You know, movies that you can watch over and over again. And I remember thinking to myself, The Conjuring would be one of those movies.
Like, I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. It's a horror movie, as you said, high rewatchability. It's scary. Like you said, there's jump scares, sure, but there's also like real scares too.
Yeah.
The whole clap game thing, that's iconic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, completely agree with you. It's a great movie.
Yeah, big fan of that. So yeah, that's my number two.
And I am just going to take a guess here that I think we probably have crossover on number one.
Maybe not.
All right. Well, my number one is directed by Denis Villeneuve, and it is starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And it is Prisoners.
That's my number one too. So
Yeah.
Wait a second, Snowpiercer didn't make your top 10 at all?
You want to know my deep dark circuit about Snowpiercer?
You don't like it?
I've only seen it once, and I need to watch it again.
Okay.
That's my, like, as soon as we started this list, like, I started writing this down, like, Thursday night, like, all this stuff down. I'm like, I got my list, let's go. And my brain was like, we'll watch Snowpiercer this weekend, and I'm sure it'll be on the list. And then I didn't get to it, and then I made the list, and I didn't put it on there. So that's on me. It's a good movie. I remember liking it, but I need to watch it again.
You should watch it again, and I bet you kick yourself. You're like, damn it.
No, I'm going to.
I think it's better than a lot of his other movies. I say that. I haven't seen that many of his other movies. I don't think it's better than The Host. But, I mean, it's got aspects of it that I do like better. I like it more, I think, than Mickey 17.
Oh, sure.
But anyways, this isn't about that. This is about Prisoners.
Prisoners.
So go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so Prisoners, it's a thriller. Hugh Jackman, Terrence Howard play fathers whose daughters are going from one house to another, and in the process of going from the one house to the other, disappear and are abducted. And then there's the police trying to figure out what happened, who took the girls. There's a really great Paul Dano performance in this, and it's tense and absolutely fantastic. And it's the best Hugh Jackman performance, I'll say. I don't think he's ever been better than he is in this. And thriller's the way to say it, right? It's a thriller.
It's a thriller, yeah.
Yeah. And
if somebody called it a horror movie, I wouldn't fault them for it.
No,
but I think this is like a definitive
thriller. It's a must watch. I know, like we said, that this year kind of everything moved around. When this one went up to the top of my list, it kind of just stayed there when everything else bounced around a bunch. But yeah, it's fantastic. When I watched this movie, like this was the movie where I'm like, oh, this director is someone I really, really like, and I've liked everything he's done since this. And yeah, so number one, absolutely, is Prisoners.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I'm so surprised that we both chose Prisoners for our number one. Yeah, I didn't think. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with this movie, but I'm just always surprised when other people are too, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's great, and the storytelling and the mystery and the performances, all of it's great. I mean, yeah, we've got, other than Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, we've got Viola Davis and Maria Bello, who are both great as the other mothers. Terrence Howard's in it. He's good. And Paul Dano, yeah. I mean, this is when he was just starting to get, like, you know, this is after There Will Be Blood, so, like, people knew he was, honestly, it's a surprising part for him, given what we know about him, but he seems to be just great at choosing parts. And so it's like wall-to-wall great performances, you know?
Engaging.
And this is during that time that I've talked about before, where Jake Gyllenhaal is giving performances that I really felt should have been nominated for an Oscar. And his performance in this, there's so many subtle nuances to his performance. And the last, I want to say, like 30, 45 seconds of this movie is some of the most, like, edge of your seat filmmaking of the last 20 years. And I remember it very well now because I've watched the movie so many times. But the first, like, 3 times I watched it, I didn't quite remember how it ended. And so it caught me by surprise each time. But it's wonderful. It is probably, it might end up in, like, my top 10 favorite movies of all time. You know, like, it's that good for me, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, so it sounds like you had the same thing where the rest of the year, the rest of the list is very fluid. You know, I could watch another one of these movies, like 2 to 15, and have it pop up to, you know, higher on the list or whatnot. But I think Prisoners might be the movie from this year that is the most staying power. How about that? You know, I know we're 12 years later, we're talking about staying power, but does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Full staying power. You remember it, you reference it, you want to watch it again. Yeah. I mean, The Conjuring too. Like you said, I watched that probably once a year too. So maybe we slept on 2013 a little bit.
Yeah. When I built this list, The Conjuring and Prisoners, like, they popped right to the top of it, and they never left. I knew that those were my favorite movies from this year, but I knew 100% when I looked over everything that had been released this year that Prisoners was my favorite movie. I knew it the entire time. I was like, that's it.
Yeah, and when I did my list, I had, like, my initial one had Wolf of Wall Street one, and then that bounced around. And then once I put Prisoners #1, I couldn't get anything past it after that point. So yeah, it's great. It's if you haven't watched it and you're out there and you follow this podcast, you have any interest in it at all, watch it.
Very good. Okay.
No news, no physical media showcase this week.
No news, no physical media showcase.
But yeah, 2013, man, good year for volume of movies. Good,
Yep.
like a lot of good movies. But like I think the standout ones are like pretty much our top 4. Each of our list top 4, I think, are the big ones. And I need to watch Snowpiercer as soon as possible, and probably put it in my 4th spot ahead of Wolf of Wall Street. But we'll find out.
Yeah, let me know what you end up doing with that. You should give that a rewatch because I'm surprised that it wasn't higher on yours. I was
Dude,
I bet Dan loves this movie.
It should be like it should be, but I need to watch it before I can just put it on the list.
You watch it again, you're like, no,
What have I done? And then really, like, what you said about Wolf of Wall Street and like my feelings of Wolf of Wall Street while making this list makes me think that maybe it should have been off my list. But this happens every time we do one of these lists, and we talk about it, and then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, you dipshit, but that's life.
Well, you if you get a letterbox, you can always edit these things all you want down the road.
That's true.
Maybe I decide that I want to drop this around a little bit. Maybe I want to push American Hustle down. Maybe I want to move Walter Mitty up. Oh, that was one.
Oh, that's
watched,
one.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and that was really good. But only number 16 good, not top 15 good.
Yeah, I watched that one as part of my my lead up to this list, and I liked it too.
I liked it, but I was like, it made me feel really good, and was inspiring and all those things. But I was like, it's no Forrest Gump. Right?
Yeah. And we got Evil Dead on this list, so we're already feeling good enough as it is.
One that I thought long and hard about putting on here was the movie Snitch with The Rock.
No, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, it's got him and John Bernthal. Come on, you don't get that duo too often. Barry Pepper's in that one too. Yeah, a lot of good movies this year. It's a quality year in film. So
I think so. So. I do think that, like I said, I think Prisoners might be a step above the rest of them, but yeah.
It is. Agreed. But yeah, thank you, Dan, for doing this.
Of course, my friend. Anytime.
Come next week, we're going to do 28 Years Later. We're going to talk about that one.
Maybe
we'll dust off 28 days and 28 weeks. In the meantime, we can talk about what we think is going to come next in that franchise with
Bone Temple.
The Bone Temple. And then whatever the third one ends up being called. Yeah. And then the week after that, we may be doing a little bit of movie trivia night for an episode, which if we end up doing that, I'm pretty excited about it.
That would be a lot of fun.
That's what we got for the rest of this month. So, Dan, thank you for joining. Everybody else that's watching or listening, thank you for watching or listening. And we'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe.